Recording is on.
Okay. So I was saying that by the time you for this particular course, for this particular course, I was saying that if you start with the first course now, let's say Introduction to Excel, which is one of the course in Excel fundamental skill track. So if you start with it, and then if you view the details here, you will see all the exercises and lesson videos in it. So let's say I open this one now. Okay, let me open load workbook directly. So by the time I open load workbook, I click. So the instruction here says open file one loading workbook.slx from the workbook folder. Hmm? And then after I do that, that's like I execute that instruction. Then the next instruction says on the worksheet, Google monthly stock price. Select all values in column A. Then after I do that, is click next. It's now asking me how many rows are contained in column A, including the header. Are we there? So now, by the time I answer this question now, if the answer is correct, I can now submit. Once I select an answer, I can submit. If the answer is correct, the XP will count for me. So that is how the XP will keep on counting until I finish all of this for this particular chapter 1. As you can see, this chapter 1 is free for you to try it out, but chapter 2 is not actually is not free. Chapter 2 is not free. So yeah, I'm showing this now for those that have premium access to this data camp content. And we remember we also stated that the resources for this training is we have extracted it. But for your progress to count, if you want to have the premium access, just direct message any of the admin. And of course, you saw the advert about the subsidized price rate based on our partnership with an organization that could offer such subscription in a lower price, a very cheap price. So now, chapter 1, like I said, is not free, but by the time you complete all of this and then come to chapter 2 and complete all of this exercise, and then come to chapter, okay, this is just 3 chapters. So by the time you complete it, you have finished introduction uh, to Excel. That is this particular part of the course. Then you go to the next one, on and on like that until we are done. So I was trying to say that most all of these things you are seeing now, we have carefully extracted, though not all of them yet, in this note that you are seeing. So each of the lesson video and the exercise and the task is carefully arranged here. So we'll be using it for the class. So with the information I shared, that is that zip file that I shared. So those that now have access can go ahead to follow the exercise on DataCamp platform so that the progress will be counting for you so that at the end of each course you have a proof of completion of the course. I don't know that this is clearer. I don't know if it is clearer. Please, you can type on in the chat session that this is okay. Hello, are we there? Okay. So, if you are fine with what I've explained, just type fire on. So let's do few things before we can call it a day for today. If it's the explanation so far is okay, just type fire on. Let's continue. All right. Thank you. Stephen, I believe you are fine. Alpha, I believe you are also fine. Okay. Now, um, now going to the note, like I said, we are beginning with the Excel fundamentals, and that is why we say that it is purely for complete beginners. I know some of you might have known some advanced stuff in Excel and all that, but we want to start from the genesis for those that may not have idea, so that they will be carried along. So now I want to look at the introduction to Excel for data analysis. First of all, we said this lesson introduces us to the basic features, terminology, and structure of Microsoft Excel. Now, please, I want to also request, I think I should have given this announcement before now, that the Excel you should have in your system should be 2021 and above, or I wanted to say 2019, but it's better 2021 and above. The reason is because there are some new functions that you cannot find in 2016. Some you can find in 2019, but most of them you will not see them in 2016 as well. That is Microsoft Office. But most of them you can find it in 2021. If you have 2024 version, perfect. There are some functions that are new, new in Excel that only in these versions of Microsoft Office you can find them. So please, um, after this class, create time to change your installation. In case you have 2016 in your system, please do well to uh, remove it and install that of 2021 or above. Though with this beginning part of the class, you can do whatever we are doing, but there is a point to get to things like X lookup. You can't do it in 2016. X lookup, you can't find it in 2016. I'm not sure of 2019. So that is that. Now, so want to understand what Excel is all about, navigate the interface, define and identify core Excel terminologies and Excel limitations, apply basic operation using cells, ranges, and formulas. Now, what is Excel? Excel is a spreadsheet program developed by Microsoft. Of course, Microsoft, I believe, is not new to anybody here. You have been using Microsoft Word and all that. Or even if you are not using it, I've been hearing of it. So, of course, the founder of Microsoft is Bill Gates, which I believe many of us know him. So this Excel spreadsheet is a program developed by this particular Microsoft, and it enables users to store, organize, and analyze and visualize data using rows and columns. Now, this is just this explanation now is tailored to we data analysts. Otherwise, Excel is one of the most underused application because almost okay, let me not say almost many sectors like finance they use Excel. Researchers to a good extent they use Excel. Those into mathematics, physics, statistics, there is a portion of Excel for each and every one of them. And then for us into data analysis, we have a very good portion for us in Excel. So Excel is a very powerful tool for so many tasks that is related to data. Yeah. So and you can use it for a lot of things. So virtually you may not finish learning everything about Excel. So we just need to come and cut your own portion, what you need in Excel, and that is what we need for data analysis. And that is what is covered in this Excel fundamentals and other skill track. Now, why do we want to use Excel? To store large volumes of data in structured tables, to offer built-in function and formulas for calculation. Now remember we were talking about z-score, standard deviation, variance, all of those things. Instead of you to crack your brain and begin to solve it and calculate standard scores, variance, standard deviation, or whatever, they are most of them are in Excel as built-in functions and formulas for calculation. So you can just quickly get your results with just few uh, lines or functions and whatever. Now you can visualize data using charts and graph in Excel. That is plot charts like line chart, bar charts, histogram, box plots, and so on and so forth. So encourages collaboration with features like co-authoring and comments. That is especially when you are using the that is majorly when you are using the online Excel. For Google products, you use Google Sheets. You use Google Sheets. Now, practical tip. So use the Excel when working with structured tabular data like sales record, customer list, etc. Especially where rapid analysis and visualization are needed. So you don't use unstructured. Remember we talked about unstructured data. You don't use unstructured data in Excel. In structured data you use in Excel. If you want to deal with unstructured data, there are other products for it. But there are tools in Excel and Power BI that can help you to import unstructured data into structured format, that is in form of tables, rows with rows and columns. So the bottom line is that everything you are doing in Excel is simply with data with rows and columns. Now, the limitations we have in Excel is that the maximum row, that is each record, the lines of record you have, is around 1,048,576. So if you have a data set that contains more than this, then you have to look for something else. And this is where power pivots. Power pivot. This is where it comes in. It can help you to handle data set that is more than this. And then Power BI itself is where Power BI comes in. So maximum columns, that is the the columns you have in Excel is around 16,384, which I don't think you will one day have a data set that have up to even 1,000 columns. Come to talk of 16,384. So, and it's in letters, of which we're going to see it as we continue. So, dependent on system memory, too many open workbooks or formulas may cause slowness. So, if you have too many, the more your data set is increasing, let's put it that way, your system will begin to slow. Now, use Excel for moderate size data sets. So, but for larger one, as millions of records, try to use Power BI or any other database tool like SQL. Now, we want to look at Excel interface. In Excel, we have ribbons, workbook, worksheet, formula bar, and so on and so forth. I will briefly explain each of these concepts and then we'll open Excel and see the interface as it is like this. Now, the ribbon is a toolbar with commands like insert formulas, data, review, etc. and others. So let me open Excel and display it for us. Let's see. So I have something like this. So when we say ribbon now, that is a toolbar with command lines like insert formulas, data review, and so on and so forth. They are the called ribbon. Like in this place now, you can see we have home, we have insert. So all of these are what? Ribbons. All of this. Now, and then in each of these tab, we have different information in each tab. So as we forge ahead, we see what is contained and how to use a number of them. Like I said earlier, it's not everything you will finish knowing in this place. Otherwise, you will grow old while you are learning Excel. So just pick what you want to know as a data analyst. Hope we are still together. I just want to confirm that we are here. Okay. Now, workbook is simply the entire Excel file. Just like I sent you some folders now. If you open the folder, you see a number of files. That file now, the ones that are Excel file, is a workbook. So like this thing I open now, I just opened Excel application now. What it opened for me is a workbook which I have not saved. And because I've not saved it, it named it for me with book one. Book one Excel. So if I save it now without changing the name will become this book one. So the whole of this now you are seeing is a workbook. So an Excel file is simply a workbook. And then we have formula bar. That is this place where you type in formulas. Okay, now based on what I did previously, I I close my formula bar. If I want to put it back, I can just come here and click. That's under review. You still get to know all of this later. Under review, if you come, you see formula bar, you can remove it, you can put it back. Even headings, you can remove headings, you can put it back. All these grid lines you are seeing, you can remove it, you can put it back as well. So this is formula bar. This space you have here that is next to fx. Fx there simply is talking about function and all that. So this is formula bar. Everything you are typing will be displayed inside here. If I click any of these cell, all these small things are called cells. If I type, you will see it inside this formula bar. Now, so we after formula bar we have cells. Now cells is the building blocks of a worksheet. Building blocks is what makes up of something. A building is made up of blocks. So you use blocks to build. By the time you arrange blocks one after the other, you form a wall. By the time you join different wall, you form a room as well. And different rooms will give you a complete building. So in a Excel workbook, it is made up of small box. If you can see my cursor, you see me clicking on this small box. All these small box on that are in rectangular shape, they are all called cells. Cells, they are the smallest unit of your Excel workbook. Just like they say that cell in biology is the smallest unit of life. I don't know whether they have discovered another smallest unit because every day science is all about discovering new things. So, but here, all these small rectangular shape, they are cell. Now, let me delete what I've just typed. And then, so this is just the interface as we have just seen. There are many other parts of it you need to know. Okay, as we move further, we'll see to those ones. Now, all right. Okay, somebody said it's echoing. Is it still echoing? Please indicate if it is still echoing. If you can hear me, please indicate if it is still echoing. Okay, thank you very much. Though we will be rounding up with few things about Excel. Like I said, this is just introduction of Excel. I wish you can rush through them. Now, this is just an activity. Open an Excel file, explore. So in your own system, you can just open I'll explore all those home, insert, formula bar, or whatever. Now, want to look at key definition and terms. Now, as we say, workbook is an Excel file. For instance, now you can have an Excel file says data, and it ends with a something we call suffix. Suffix is like an extension, like the suffix of a file is the extension of the file that helps you to identify the type of that file. Let me open one of my folders. Let me see. Let me open this document. As you can see in this place, let me extend this. Uh-huh. Now you can see this file now, introduction to Excel for data analysis underscore two dot PDF. This PDF now dot PDF is a suffix, that is extension. So this extension indicates the type of file we're having here, that this is a PDF file. I know most of us know this, but I'm just explaining in details for those that are maybe for somebody that is a complete beginner. Now, if I scroll down, I'm supposed to see some other file types. Like here now, I have slide 11 dot docs, that is DOCX, telling you that this is Microsoft Word. So when you have dot DOCX, is Microsoft Word. Now, I can have Excel. Okay, let me look for Excel somewhere here. Excel file, let me look for it somewhere here. You can see here now I have product data dot xlsx, product data dot xlx. So this particular file type is the file type for Excel. That is this is the extension for Excel. So whenever you see a file that ends with .xlx, pium, just understand that this is an Excel workbook, Excel file. So in each Excel file, you can, let me minimize this. In this Excel file, you will have different worksheets, different worksheets. So for instance, now you can have a worksheet that is containing the budget for January, or maybe household information, something like that. So this one I just opened now is containing only one worksheet. By default, it is called sheet one. So if you look down here, if you are seeing my cursor, you see me hovering over the sheet one worksheet. Now, if I click plus, it will create another worksheet for me. Like that, I click more, I can have as many worksheets as possible. So just see it as a notebook you have, your exercise book. So the whole of your Excel workbook is like a notebook, and then each page of your notebook is now what your sheet looks like. You if you open a notebook, you have many sheets in it. So in your Excel workbook, there can be many sheets. So the more I click plus now, the more I have many sheets. So I can do different work or different uh, I can have different data sets in each of these sheets. So they are like different sheets of your pages in your exercise book. So that's how it works. So just see workbook as your exercise book, and then sheet as different leaves in those exercise books. So you can write in different sheets and so on and so forth. Uh-huh. And it's not as if that if this one is if this one got get filled up, then you continue in sheet five. No, in this case you usually have different data sets in each sheet, different data set in each sheet. So unlike your normal exercise, that is your notebook, if this page gets filled, you open to the next page. Well, in this case now, each sheet is containing different data sets, and sometimes these data, not sometimes, most times these data sets are related. So each sheet is containing different data sets. So that's what. So you can rename this sheet. If I double click on it, I can rename it to, let's say, sales data. Says let me use underscore instead. Says data. So I'll rename this. I can rename this one as employee info. Employee info. So this place is containing information about employee, while this particular sheet is containing information about sales data. The third sheet can contain information about products. So the products available in the store. So this product sheet uh, can contain information, that is data about products and so on and so forth. So cell, we have talked about cell. So each of these small rectangular bars is a cell, and each cell is identified with a name, and that name is what you call the reference, cell reference. So each cell, each cell, oh, somebody said my screen is not pinned. Oh, no, 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 no. So sorry, so sorry. Wow, wow, wow. Uh, how is it now? Hello, are you there?
Yes, sir.
So, well, are you seeing my notes? Hello?
It's not pinned on the screen.
Sorry? Hello?
The note is not pinned.
The notes. Can you see my notes now?
Yes, but it's just one-sided. A very small part.
Serious? Steven, can you explain what you're seeing from your end? Or Alpha, can you explain what you are seeing from your end? I'm be sure.
What I'm saying from my end is the like everybody in the class,
Okay, what about now?
like, feel the same thing.
Huh?
Feel the same thing.
Okay, you're not seeing my notes now.
Like it's just showing the way that it's showing everybody's name, the same way it's showing.
Wow, that's serious. That's serious. Okay. Wow. Okay, let me stop sharing and